Well, hello. It's me, Kat, and we are going to have a live chat. If you're watching this video right now, you're watching it recorded. Know that I do go live every Tuesday and Friday in the afternoon, 4 p.m. usually Eastern Standard Time. However, we had a little calamity today. I'll share with you that in a minute. But yeah, we're on a little later than normal. But when we do have these lives, we talk about how to declutter in our homes, questions that we're having about that, and things like that. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little bell and like the video if you do so, if you like it. And it should let you know every time with a little notification. Also, by a lot of people liking the video, it will enable YouTube to share it with other people. And we want to do that. We want to share this information with other people and help them during their time of malaise. It's so hard to be cluttered and awful. It really is. And I'm here to help you with that. So the first thing I'm going to do is change my glasses so that I'm not reading down my nose, because these are trifocals because I'm that old. I'm going to put on these little magnifiers. Yes. And I'll just be able to see without tipping my head back and say hey to everybody. So we're going to have a little chat today. Who all is on here? Lisa Iao, Amy, Connie Miller, Libby from Ireland, Yasmin Sierra, Emily Hall, Amy Guess, Carrie Joy, good to see you too. Hi to Mr. B, Betsy Olson Mikowski, LA is here. Hello to Kat and Mr. B. Happy Friday from Mr. B. Tammy Burns is here, Shirley Gendreau, and Tressa Wilson. Hi, everyone. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. I can't wait to answer your questions. Tracy Allen is here. Hi, Tracy. How you doing? All right, let me have a sip of this tea. That looks ugly with that little string, doesn't it? Let me put that over here. Actually, this side is much prettier, my cup, but I'm right-handed, so isn't that pretty? It's a pretty little cup. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. I'm ready to answer your questions. Living My Destiny is here. What is your name? Is it Destiny? I think that is Destiny. I can't remember. Remember, if your name isn't in your title, please include it in your text so I can call you by your name. The highest compliment you can be given is to be called by your name. Isn't it wonderful that our Lord calls us by our name? Hi, Michelle Kennedy Hawkins. Good afternoon. So let's talk about decluttering. Have you decluttered something today? We are in zone 3. Zone 3 is the zone where we work in a bathroom. It is Destiny. Thank you, Destiny. And one other room. So that's not the living room. That's not the dining room. That's not the entryway. That's not the kitchen. That's not the master bedroom, but one other room. So that could be a den or a great room or a loft or a basement or an attic or an office or a baby's room or a guest room or a craft room, etc., etc. The crawl space. It could be any place where you put stuff. And so we want to declutter that stuff 4 times a month. Once a month, we're going to be in this zone, zone 3, and we're going to do some decluttering 4 times that month, 4 days during that zone. Okay, it's not a lot. It's just a little bit, but every little bit consistently done makes a difference. And if you jump off the boat and in the water and you tread water for a long time, you'll be exhausted and you won't want to do it anymore. Stay in the boat, dip a little 15 minutes out of your clutter and get that part done. And then do clutter checks to keep yourself from being overwhelmed with clutter. I see some more people have popped in. LA says, how long does it take to get into the flow of all these routines? LA, it depends on you and your learning curve. But the flow that she's talking about is the difference between working in a routine, like we have a morning routine, a laundry routine, a paper routine, an after dinner routine, a before bed routine. Oh, it just sounds ridiculous, but it's not. These little chunks of things that we do, little pearls that we string, the zone, the basic weekly plan, the clutter checks, they're all strung together. And when you work inside of each one of those little units, we have a little flow. It actually goes like this. And it's not like that in the beginning. In the beginning, you're trying to learn how to do it. You're sort of memorizing your motions. What do you do? So it looks more like this, boom, boom, boom. And it's not fun. It's like learning anything, learning to speak French, learning to ride a bike, learning to swim in a pool. It's all the same thing, little step after little step. But when you practice it, by doing it often, you're going to eventually be able to flow. which is so much lovelier. And the dripping of water does wear away stone. That's one thing at a time. But a flow really eats things up. So we can't wait to get you in the flow. All right, let's see. Other questions? Oh my goodness, I see people on here I just love. Allison Stevens is here giving me love and hearts. LA says, I've been working our spare room and office space. Excellent, LA. Candace Linville says, hey there, Miss Cat and Mr. B. Hey, Candace. Gail Buster is here, and Kaylee Ramirez is here. Allison said, I made my meal plan and it went to the store. Excellent. Good for you, Allison. I'm so excited. Tina Ott is here. Hello, Tina. Connie, I hope I pronounced your name right, Tina, your last name. Connie Miller, I decluttered 4 drawers in the bathroom today, all garbage. I wiped the drawers out to look, and it took less than 15 minutes, and it felt so good. Yes, it does feel good, doesn't it, Connie? And I'm so proud of you. Do you have have you envisioned what's supposed to go in those drawers? You know, that's something I like you to do, is not only to have a to-do list of how to clean each room, but to have a vision of what that room is supposed to look like. When you bought the house, what did you envision putting in there? Surely not all that junk. Surely you had a plan. So if you don't have one or you can't remember what it was, sit down, take some time, reflect. Why? Is there a drawer here? What is it for? What do you want to put in that drawer? How full do you want to keep that drawer? How are you going to keep that drawer organized? You're smart. You can do this. Plan out what goes in each of your drawers. And then if something is outside of that plan, then perhaps you don't need that thing or it doesn't go in that room. Okay? All right, let's see. Good question and good work, Connie. Candace said, everyone be sure to smash that little thumbs up for Miss Kat. Thank you so much. I only have 17 thumbs up right now. I'm looking for a whole lot more than that. Thank you very much. We'll see if it goes up. Oh, my hair looks cute. Well, it started out wet this morning because I was running a little behind schedule, and I braided it and then I took it down, and you really don't want to see what it looks like down, so I just stuck it back up. I have to curl it, and I honestly didn't have time. I'm going to tell you about our catastrophe in a minute. Mr. B probably won't mind. It happens to everyone. But thank you. I appreciate that. Emily, do you do zones when you're packing to move? No, I do not. When you're packing to move, you can pack in the zone if you have enough time. You can certainly pack in the zone, but you're going to pack longer than 15 minutes. Moving is an extraordinary adventure. It is not a daily maintenance of your home. So zones are not going to really be happening. You do need to plan it out, however, especially if you're sidetracked. What are you going to work on? How are you going to label these boxes? How is it going to best be moved to your home? How are you going to be able to identify what's in that box or what room that box goes into? There's loads of help online on these things. You don't have to listen to me about it, but I'll tell you what I've always done, and I've moved many, many times, and that is to put some of the major articles that are in that box on the outside, identify the box, kitchen or whatever, and if it's fragile. And also an arrow pointing up on all 4 sides of the box if it's not to be turned on its side. Or do not stack if it's got like your fragile crystal in there and maybe you don't even want to put that in the van. Maybe that needs to go in the back of the car. So yeah, that's what I do. Okay, let's see. Jazz is here. Hi, Jazz. I don't even tell my husband to pick up his things because you are right about it. If it matters to me, I should just pick it up. That's right. You know what'll happen? If you just pick it up, they will learn that it looks better and their stuff will stick out like a sore thumb when they're throwing it down. And most, not all, but most will notice it and start taking better care. Don't be sad if they don't. It's okay, but be really glad if they do. Okay. Let's see. Hi, Sherry. How are you doing, Sherry Cook? Allison said, it doesn't take a certain time. If you take one day at a time, you will wake up and find yourself doing it without even knowing it. You can do it. And I know that she's talking about the flow. I love doing my hand like that. That's my favorite. All right. Let's see. I love you girls. Y'all are so much fun. Do you want me to stop and tell you what happened yet? Okay, I will tell you. The reason I'm not at 4 o'clock like I wanted to is that Mr. B is very important to this process. He's an integral part. He is doing the monitoring and he makes sure everything's going well in the background. And Mr. B left to go pick up some bacon that my daughter bought him from Costco, so he didn't have to go in Costco. And he was going to drive by and pick it up. She was going to put it in her. She said she'd put it in her mailbox. We really love the Kirkland brand pre-cooked bacon. We love that. But anyway, 2 packages of that. So he left the house. I'm a little jealous. He's going out. I'm staying in, but it's okay. So he left the house. Within 5 minutes, I get a call from him. Kat? I said, yeah, honey. He said, come out here and help me. I've had a wreck, an accident. I've had an accident. I thought, an accident? What kind of accident did he have? I didn't think he'd left the house yet. So I went out there, and his face is just ashen. The garage door is up, and there is a part of a brick mailbox sitting on the top of his truck up near the window, the big front window, and the passenger side has got a huge, giant crash in it and big cracks across. He said, I took out a neighbor's mailbox 2 doors down. 2 doors down. So he pulled out onto our nearly empty highway. It's usually super busy. And apparently he had a Coke in a can, and it fell out of the holder at that point. He didn't even have his foot on the gas. He was just kind of going forward. I'm sure he did at one time, but he took his foot off the gas because his can fell over, and somehow it leaked, and it started spewing all over the car and his face and everything. And he looked down for a second. When he looked up, he'd taken out the mailbox just that quick. So he just backed, I don't know if he backed or turned, but he got back in our driveway. And we called the insurance people, and they've been lovely. He's taken the car to the shop already. They gave him a little Enterprise, little red Hyundai of some kind that he's driving that he thinks is really cute. He likes red, Roll Tide. And so he's happy. It all worked out best, at the time though, and during all the time of calling the insurance company and talking to the neighbor and taking pictures, and the neighbor was lovely. The two doors down from that neighbor said theirs just got taken out 2 days ago. Our own mailbox here at this house has been taken out twice over the years. Fingers crossed, it hasn't happened in a long time. But everybody has like brick or stucco mailboxes to coordinate with their home in the front. So yeah. In fact, the man who had his mailbox knocked over by Mr. B, by the time I had talked to the insurer, Larry had talked to the insurance company, I looked outside and the neighbor was putting up a little black aluminum one that he had in the garage for the purpose. So, oh well. But Mr. B, we always try to look at the bright side. And he said to me when he came back, I can't say that he was looking at the bright side on the way out, but when he came back from handling all this and getting his new Enterprise car, which they cleaned, and they do social distancing, they make sure the cars are clean. He was very careful. And he said they were kind, and the man has already started marking up the truck, all the things that were wrong with it, because it didn't just break the windshield. It's a big brick, heavy duty mailbox. So the bumper is pushed in and different things. It doesn't look bad to us from the naked eye, but when you really look on the side and things, you can tell some things have happened. So we are going to pay our deductible and take care of things. And that's why you have insurance. But when he came home, he said, you know what? I think that God was protecting me from something else. Maybe I wasn't supposed to go then. And that's just the way you have to look at those things. So he went to my daughter Karen's house, and he brought a picture back of her giving him the bacon. She's got a mask on. She's standing in her front yard, and I think she took some kind of a grippers or holders, something on a long stick, and she had a bag with the bacon on the end and handed it to him that way. So it's fun, and he got to wave at the kids, the grandchildren. So that was fun. So we got to see them, and they came back, and we've taken care of everything. All right, so let me bop back here where I left off and see what kind of things are happening. Let's see, where did I leave off? It was Allison talking about the flow, I think. Latanya said hello. LA said thank you to Allison. Allison said, absolutely, we're all in the same place. Believe me, we are. I've seen Allison's house. It's awesome. But I've seen Allison's house when it wasn't awesome, haven't I, Allison? And everyone's always so embarrassed when they're mentoring with me to show me their home. And it's like, whatever. I have seen everything. Your house is not that bad. I can see, because it's not my stuff, that it won't take very long to get it in control. Once you get yourself in control, that's the key. All right. Mr. B said somebody's always cute. I don't know who, but I'm sure it's one of you girls. Shirley said, did it as I came in. Excellent. Libby said, how do we stop the guilt when we are poorly and something? I think that what she's saying is she doesn't feel good, because I knew that Libby told me earlier this morning when we were doing our morning live that she didn't feel good and she was just going to drop back and not do everything. And you just have to give yourself grace, Libby. Just give yourself grace. It's not that hard. And know that it's not the end of the world. How long did you not do this stuff? Don't worry about a day. You'll be fine. Even if it's a week or 2 weeks, you'll be fine. Okay, let's see. Mr. B. Okay, we're talking about his wreck now, bless his heart. When do you plan quiet and Bible time? In the afternoon or before bed? That's when I do it, or on my free day. But mainly in the afternoon when it's quiet, when you've done your work. Because if I had to go to the office, I couldn't say, well, it's 10 o'clock, I'm going to stop work now and do my Bible study. You can't do that. And you don't want to get up at 4:30 every day. It's just not something you normally want to do. If you had to leave and be at work by 8, getting up at 4:30 means that in the end of the day, you're going to be wiped out and not going to be able to have energy for your family. So my thing is to do it in the evening or the afternoon if you're an at-home mom, or just a little in the evening, just your little quiet time, maybe when you're doing your before bed routine. Right after that, have a couple of minutes where you do a little Bible study, or on Saturdays and Sundays, like that, okay? All right, or on your lunch hour if you work. That's also a great time to do it. Emily said, thank you. I've been completely panicking over this moving thing, and I'll take it all the advice. Excellent, no panics. Tracy's given us a heart. Kaylee's given us a thumbs up. We have 25 thumbs up. Thank you very much, ladies. Appreciate that. Keep going. Connie said, my husband is a messy guy, and with him working at home, he's noticing my efforts. He's been doing much better. See, you got a good one. Not that the other ones are bad. You just got a good one. Judy's Weight Watcher Lifestyle said, hi, Kat. So sorry. That's okay. He's good. He's good. Jess said he's good. Connie said, oh, poor Mr. B. I know. Poor Mr. B. Great neighbor for understanding. We do have wonderful neighbors. And they even said, well, it's just like got a sign on it that says, knock me down. Yeah, everything's okay. Judy said, Mr. B, hiccups in life happen to all of us, but you're okay. He is okay. And that was the main thing that everyone was concerned with. The neighbors came because Mr. B didn't stop. He stopped for a second, was overwhelmed, came into the front yard and parked in our driveway. And the neighbors walked over and said, are you okay? That's the first thing they said. So that was awesome of them. And let's see. Hi, Kathy Jones. So glad you're here. Accidents will happen to all of us, Gail said. Praise the Lord, he wasn't hurt except maybe his pride. We love you, Mr. B. God was protecting him. I believe that. Absolutely, Judy. Messed up my Bama tag, Roll Tide, baby. I know I pointed that out to him. I said, look, where his little mirrored red and mirror Bama tag was is just 2 little red chunky things on the screws. I said, oops. He'll get a new one. Yep, Allison said, and let's see, what do we got? I don't know, I don't even know what I was talking about then. Ashley said, I'm here to check on my wee Larry. You okay? Did you hear what I said? Hi, Joanne. Ashley and Joanne are here. I told them on Joanne had a live earlier, and I went in and told him, I don't know that Mr. B knows this, but he's hearing it now if he's paying attention, that Mr. B had knocked out a mailbox. But he's fine, everything's good. He's got a rental car, the car's in the shop. The neighbors are being taken care of. Everyone's lovely. We have great neighbors, so bless your heart, Mr. B. There's a good old Southern girl. Ashley. Mr. B is going to make Mrs. B blush. Why? What did he say? I won't even look. Tina said, happens all the time around my neighborhood. Big brick mailboxes get hit by cars. Yes, the truck won, Mr. B said, a Ford Tough. Glad you're okay, Larry. Joanne said, I found it hilarious. Sorry, Larry. You are so bad, Ashley. You think everything's funny. And there's Mr. B saying plans. Okay, girls, we've got about 10 more minutes. So what are your questions about everything? About everything that relates to how we keep our homes and keep ourselves, okay? He said that you're cute. Oh, he's sweet. Kat, it's the way you tell stories I find so funny. Okay. You're so funny. Okay. You know what I've decided? This is my little coffee shirt. See how thin it is? You can kind of see through it. Look, I think I'm going to get rid of it. It's too big. It's like, I don't know if it's just disintegrating and getting stretched out. I know I'm not getting smaller. I'm maintaining. I'd like to get smaller, but I'm maintaining, but it's really getting big. I think this is going to be the last day I wear it. Oh, well. All right, Ashley, I'm drinking tea with a tea bag. You happy? All right, let's see. I'm waiting for questions. We have 29 thumbs up. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yes, she's happy because I have a tea bag. Strong tea for the win. Yes. It's decaf, Ashley, your least favorite, but it's Twinings, which is delicious, and it is English breakfast tea, so it's strong and lovely. And I have a Splenda in it. Okay, so I'm sitting here waiting for questions. Is everybody in live chat so that when I can see your questions? Because I see nothing. Here comes Levy. Kat, do you keep certain items in each bathroom for swish and swipe? I do. I keep toilet scrubber in a container by the toilet. Under the sink, I keep a stack of old, they're actually car rags. They're white terry cloth, but they're rough. They sell them in big giant packets. When my dad had his business, we always, because they detailed cars as part of keeping his cars clean. So I had these detail rags. I fold them in thirds and over in half, and I keep a set under the sink. And I keep a bottle of spray. I like Mrs. Meyer's the best. Right now I'm using something that I just found at the house, just trying to use it up. It's not my favorite, but Mrs. Meyer's is what I love to keep, a little bottle of spray, bottle all-purpose spray. All-purpose spray. I spritz the toilet, I spritz the sink, I wipe the sink, and I wipe off the handles and the faucet handles and the spout behind it, around a little bit. It takes like that long. I take the toilet brush, I take the rag and I wipe off the handle where you flush the toilet. Sometimes I get the top of the tank. Sometimes I get behind the seat, the lid, the inside of the lid, the top of the seat, the underneath of the seat, and then go round and round in the toilet, tap it off, close the toilet seat so it's kind of sitting in that hole. Like here's the brush and here's the toilet seat so you can see it, and let it dry. That's what I do. Good night, Ashley. Have a wonderful evening. Ashley's in Scotland. It's much later there, so glad you popped in. Thank you, Ashley. When did you decide to mentor? LA said. I wanted to mentor when I heard about mentoring for the very first time when I was working in corporate, and there were people who were mentoring other leaders. And I thought, wow, I'd really love to be mentored and I'd love to mentor. But for some reason, it just never came up. I was too busy, whatever. And then I heard, and so it was in my head that I really wanted to mentor. One of my good friends who was a director there was a mentor. And I just thought, that's so cool to have a mentor. And one day when I was almost ready to retire, I was on my lunch hour, sitting out in my car. That's what I used to do. I used to go out and sit in my car on my lunch hour under a big oak tree. And I saw that the Flylady was talking about mentoring, and that she couldn't mentor all the millions of people that followed her, but people want to be mentored, and she was going to hire some Flylady mentors. And I thought, ooh, I want to get one of those mentors for me. And then I thought, wait a minute. I've been doing this since 1982 when I started following the Sidetracked Home Executives. I don't need a mentor. I need to be a mentor. And so I contacted them, and I went through 3 interviews. One with, who was it with? One was her sister, Patty, who is has a doctorate in psychology, I think. One was the Flylady herself, Marla Silly. And one was, I'm pretty sure that was Andrew. He was the one who actually just thought this up, and he's her nephew. And I had interviews with all 3 of them and was hired as a mentor. And of course, we had a little bit of training, and then we started mentoring, and I loved it. I loved it. But it was, after doing it for a couple of years, I decided that I wanted to back off a little bit and start mentoring on my own, because I had changed. Having mentored so long, you start changing the way you do things. And each one of us were a little different, and that was certainly okay. We had our own view of the system, and I decided to start sharing my view on my account. So I called it A Better Life with Kat, and at one point it was A Better Life with Flylady Kat. But once I retired entirely and let go of all my mentees through the Flylady system, I only mentor personally through just directly to me, then I drop the Flylady. Even though I'll probably always be a Flylady, and I know the system inside out and backwards, and I have edited it to become a little like the flow is mine, complete the process is mine. There's quite a few. I see you and I have a plan for you is mine. There's a lot of little catchphrases that I have that I think are helpful. I don't do hotspot fire drills. I do clutter checks. We don't do paper as part of the weekly home blessing hour. We have that as an actual routine where we do it 6 times a day to get rid of it. I try to change your habits and help you understand why you're doing the things you're doing. And Flylady also lets us know that it is totally normal to be sidetracked. It's just our personalities, the way we're wired. But I want to help you with these things to be aware of what's happening, to change your habits, because habits will serve you, and that will give you the flow instead of that chunk all the time, fighting with yourself. I also don't send out hundreds of emails every day or even every week or ever. I don't think you need those. I like you to create things for yourself, take notes for yourself. I don't give you printables. I think it's more important that you write things down, take notes. That way you learn better. Okay, it's almost like journaling for yourself. All right, that's how I started mentoring. Okay, let's see. I see Dickie has jumped on here. I think I already said hey to her. Tina said, just curious, what time do you get up in the morning? When I wake up, and that's somewhere between 7:30 and 8. I don't like to be awoken by anything. I like to wake up naturally. I get in the bed between 9:30 and 10:30 at night. Carnegie Aaron. Hi, Carnegie. Just a fun share. I married an amputee. He's at, I can't understand this, a K on his right leg. Because of you sharing that Mr. B is an amputee, it opened up my mind and my heart a year ago, and we got married in October. That's fabulous. Congratulations. I think you're saying he's an above the knee, but Larry's an above the knee on the left leg. And yeah, we've been married for 43 years. What difference does it make? None. It's just a scar. That's all it is. It doesn't make any difference. People are who they are right here. That's who you marry. So good for you. I love you for that. And thanks for sharing. That makes me lucky you. All right, let's see. Sleep tight, my wee henny. Good night. That's Mr. B talking to Ashley. I'm sure that she's already gone. Jeannie or Jean said, glad I caught you. Hi, Jean. Tina said, how long does it take to get through your morning routine with the laundry and the paperwork? I don't have paperwork because I don't have any paper clutter left. If I did, it would take me 5 more minutes. Look how red my nose gets when I get verklempt. So silly. It takes me about 30 minutes to get up and make my bed, put my clothes on. This is exactly what I do. Unless I'm about to pop, I go to the bathroom first, and I stay in there till I'm done. But usually I get up in the morning, make the bed and put my clothes on, and then I go in the bathroom, use the bathroom, and then I wash my face, brush my teeth, moisturize my skin, put on some mascara, some blush, brush my hair, put on a little perfume, wipe the sink out, swish the toilet, go into the kitchen, put the load of laundry in. I kind of do it in the middle because it's right there off the kitchen, and then empty the dishwasher and make some coffee. And that takes me about 30 minutes. If I had to do paper, it would take me 35. My recommendation is that you put the paper near the washing machine, get it prepared, have a week's worth there, and go through an inch 6 days a week. So have 6 times 6 is 6 times 1 is 6 inches. So put 6 inches there and go through that every day. That's how long it takes. It takes very little time. Okay, and it's a pleasure to get it done. All right, let's see. Shirley is using bubble bath soap that she didn't like, and she's using it up, and that's perfectly fine. You can use anything to clean the toilet, and that's cute. Let's see, Libby liked my story. Connie said, how do you handle it when people come over while you're trying to social distance? Well-meaning friends and family, but not taking seriously as I have an autoimmune disease. You say, I'm sorry, I'm not letting anyone in the house right now. We are trying to protect ourselves here. That's what I do. No, first of all, I called everyone and I said, okay, we're social distancing. No one can come over. The nurses aren't coming. The CNAs aren't coming. You're not coming. My sisters aren't coming. My children aren't coming. No one is coming to the house right now. I'm serious, and I mean it. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is our health, and I mean it. So, you know, you don't let other people run your life, for heaven's sakes. This is very important. If you have an autoimmune deficiency, you have to be serious about your health. Okay. And you're going to always have to be careful when you have an autoimmune deficiency. My sister Marty has one, and she has RA, and my sister Patty has one. She has, what does she have? She has fibromyalgia, and so they have to be careful. And sometimes I think Marty's less than careful. She knows I love her, but I'll talk about her in front of her face. So be careful all the time. And I think this is a good time for us to relearn how to take care of ourselves. Let's see. I'm trying to see what I missed. Libby said, Connie, that's not fair to you, and they need to know it's not safe. Yeah, just tell them. Kat said, Mr. B said, join the Patreon page. Yes, Patreon is here for you. There are no advertisements. There's no chat with other people. I know this is fun, but sometimes you just want information. The things that I'm going to put on my Patreon page, if you didn't hear me this morning, the videos for next week, which I'm going to record this weekend, are going to be income and outgo, dating your zone, a place called home, the flow, closets first, drawers next, rooms last. Those are the 5 videos. I'm anxious for you to see them. Here's a sample of what I've had in the past. Let's see. The project plan, getting all the rooms, why 1 inch is more than 1 inch is too much, drilling deep, and how much is too much. Those are just some examples. I do 5 every week for you. So for $5 a month, not a week, not a day, a month, come on over to the Patreon. Mr. B put the link up and you'll become a patron. And by doing that, you help support this channel because you're paying that little $5. It all adds up and it makes a big difference to me, and it'll make a big difference to you. Okay, come on. We love having you over there. All right, let's see. Ooh, it's almost time to go. I'm going to start at the bottom and not take any more questions and go backwards, okay? Connie said, love Patreon. It's worth it. Be More Mom, eCloth has a sale going on for their awesome microfiber cloths. Check it out, ladies, if you don't want to pay Norwex prices, although they are great also. Aisha said, you're welcome, Karen. Thanks, Aisha. I guess there's some love going on there. Aisha said she's in her apron, used to use and sell Norwex. Maybe search her for, she does sell Norwex still. Late, but made it. We'll watch later. Hi, Irene. Libby said, I have this out of sight, out of mind, so I need things out, but it can build up on the tops. Any tips? Yes, you can't have things out, baby. You cannot have things out. I know that you think you need them out. What you need is a plan. And what you need is a home for things so that you already know where they live. So if you have a plan to, I don't care what it is, you have a plan to work on XYZ. You don't want to leave it laying out. XYZ lives over here. These planners, my planner, my menu planner, my notes that I take for my mentoring, this all goes in a little cubby under my desk, and that's where it lives. I don't leave these out. Even though I look at them twice a day, I don't leave them out. Don't leave things out. It is the worst mistake you can make, okay? Let's see. Anything else I missed? Amy said, quote the mentor, changing lives. Maria said, I'm trying to follow your videos to stay motivated. Let me tell you what, for motivation, what you need to do, Maria, is do the program. That will motivate you. I can talk all day long and it'll make you feel like, oh, I want to do this. But then when you get in there, you won't do it. And that's demotivating. So instead, I would encourage you to do something. That's going to motivate you, okay? Let's go back a little bit more. Does anyone use, okay, Maria said, you're amazing and thank you. You are very welcome. Do you use specific cleaning supplies like company brand name, Flylady, Norwex, etc.? LA, I use a Flylady duster. I think it's fantastic. I think it's the best feather duster out there. And I use Mrs. Meyer's and other Grove collaborative products, and the link is below. I don't have the Flylady .net app linked, but you can just go to flylady.net for her supplies. Okay, that's it for today. I think I answered everything. If I didn't, I apologize. You can put it in the comments below when you come back, and I will look at it and answer. If I give you a heart, you know I read it. I read every single comment. If I feel like it requires an answer, I will answer it. But almost always, I don't answer very much on this channel because there's just so many questions. I do almost always, if it requires an answer, well, I always answer anything on Patreon that requires an answer. Doesn't mean everything does. Sometimes your people are just telling me you love me, and that gets a little hard. All right, that's it for today. Have a beautiful day. I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. live to go over what we need to do on Saturday. And always remember that you are beautiful. Bye.